Man, I can't believe I was in the toilet for like 10, nearly 15 minutes. It's crazy, guys. Never used to have that problem. Now I go to the toilet so regularly because of all the exercising and shit I'm doing now. The running around and all that is starting to kick in.
YouTube
Oh, let's get
is
started. Let's see what
opening
they're
up
going to
its
say.
AI-powered likeness detection tool to all of Hollywood. Actors, musicians, athletes, and the talent agencies and management companies that represent them will be able to use this tool that works kind of like Content ID, except for faces, scanning the platform for AI-generated deepfakes of enrolled individuals and then letting them review and request.
Okay, so this is what they're talking about. AI on YouTube, I think. So they're trying to like cramp down the AI fakeness.
Removal. It is free, opt-in, and works even if the person doesn't have a YouTube channel. The tool's been in a phased rollout since actually late 2024, starting with CAA clients and then expanding to about 5,000 creators last fall, then to politicians and to journalists in March. The entertainment industry is the biggest expansion yet, with CAA, UTA, WME, and Untitled Management already on board. YouTube says that enrollment data is only used for detection and is not used to train Google's AI models. Flag videos are reviewed individually, and content that falls under parody, satire, or commentary may stay up. The expansion comes after the Sora launch last fall flooded the internet with deepfakes of celebrities and dead public figures, making the need for this kind of tool kind of
needed. Yeah, definitely needed.
Against.
It's cool that YouTube's doing it. That's sweet and for free. That's awesome.
YouTube is not perfect. I call them out in public and in private on a pretty regular basis.
Yes, you do.
However, let's look at all the other large video platforms.
This is, I know I've said it on Wan Show before, but this is what I keep going back to.
TikTok, Meta. Dude, relatively speaking,
awesome.
They've been
for a company to be on top as well for as long as not only around, but as big and on top for as long as they have been. I am very surprised. They don't seem way worse and way more corrupt than they are.
Think about how often big tech changes the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Oh yes, they do.
With users, I think there's a pretty strong argument to be made that they have changed the deal in pretty
substantial ways. They have.
Some of those changes, in my opinion, come with the reality of just not being like VC funded anymore and needing to run a profitable business model. I can't blame them for that. You got to eat. But in terms of the way that they've engaged with the creators on their platform, the ones who give it the value, the way that they have consistently stuck with that profit share model is nuts.
Yeah.
Literally, even seeing how the model works, whether we're talking Vine, whether we're talking TikTok or Meta, no matter who it is, even seeing that obvious playbook that has worked so well, YouTube they call it a flywheel, right? The flywheel spins. The creators create amazing content, which benefits YouTube, which makes money, which goes to creators who spend it on content, who make better content. That flywheel that YouTube relies on to continue elevating the level of content on it and attracting creators to it. It's in public. It's plain for everyone to see. And nobody else can just... They can't do it. They can't take out their wallet and just share the revenue.
Kind of funny because by many accounts, it's like actually cheaper and easier than doing something like Netflix where you have to make the content yourself. But just no one else will do it. But I still maintain like YouTube is really cool considering what it could be. And there's some stuff that sucks. I'm still salty about the dislike button and shorts have been very frustrating for me. Although I do have an interesting update. I heard on the open source creator Discord, a few people got access to the app update and it does what we were hoping it would do. When you set your shorts limit to 0 minutes, it removes shorts entirely from your like main page. But if you go to a creator, you can still find the shorts. And that is completely fine in my mind. I still don't like that if you do manually go find some shorts, it's incredibly easy to bypass your 0 minute limit. But the fact that it kind of removes it from there is cool. And
I got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay, so I have it now. Short speed limit, 0 minutes. So I'm gonna close the app.
Yeah.
And then I'll log into my account. Actually, no, I'll stay on the LTT account, I guess.
I saw shorts.
Okay, so wait.
Shorts.
I see shorts immediately. No,
they're gone.
They're gone.
Wait, scroll down.
No, that's oh wait, YouTube playables. Oh, for crying out loud! Can I get rid of these? Not interested. Okay.
Yep, looks like it's gone, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No shorts.
Holy bananas!
Sweet.
Top news.
Ah, cool. Works.
Holy bananas, dude.
Yeah, so it's just content.
That's crazy.
No shorts.
Also, this is a quality recommendation.
You're gonna get
What are you playing?
How is that? How is that in my recommendations right now?
fantastic. Was, yeah.
That's a throwback
was
for
that the
sure.
work account? Someone's looking up the Das Boot beer song.
Amazing. That19.com.
Is That19 still around?
I have no idea.
So where is it under? Shorts, I think it's under. So it's under settings, I'm assuming.
All right, let's see what's on That19. Oh, okay.
It feels like the same stuff though.
This is literally like I think they made the video about this.
Stop
5-pound
wearing shorts. God damn you.
Honestly, I saw the gummy bear and then I saw the micro magnets and I was like, nothing has changed.
Dude, I mean, look.
Why would you?
Hold on a second. Get out of here.
Share.
Listen, I did a
Enable.
mathematician, but let me tell you this times
How much is it?
$57.09.
Don't have it in mine yet.
Woo! In gummy bears, dude. Let's go.
$5.7 million of gummy. We're in the wrong business, sir.
You should be making gummy bears. Make some
Yeah, I
gummy bears.
noticed.
Do it that way.
That is wild.
Okay, so YouTube's definitely doing better in that
Interesting.
department.
They put like a purchase counter on it. Seems like every product.
That is
It's not just key ones. Rubber chicken pen. That seems.
Oh
like
God.
dancing. Okay. Well, yeah, that's definitely a site that still exists. Supersized playground ball with unmatched durability.
No purchase count on this one.
It can handle a little. Oh, this is new. This is in their new tab.
I see.
Okay. Catching a ball with the world's largest glove. All right, man. Internet, you've really gotten to be a thing, haven't you?
All right, that was kind of cool. So that's something nice. Now some drama, I think. If I can find it. God damn it, where is it? Where will I put it down here? I can't find it. I'll just move on. Oh yeah, this one. So yeah, there's some information. It's from Review Tech USA. Not the greatest content creator, but it's gonna give me a bit of information. So
I'm gonna come.
I really don't want to listen to that.
It's full shameless plugs. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, Review Tech USA, and leave a like and a comment. It helps out in the algorithm.
Oh, so he's changed. He's gone back to what he used to do. So what happened with him is he deleted a channel, which was basically the same one with the same name, except for it didn't have the 2 at the end. So he's gone back to doing what he used to do. I think. I could be wrong. I mean, yeah, it looks like he's gone back to doing what he used to do. How far back is he gone? Oh no. Okay, no. It looks like it's been here for a long time. So I think it might be a clip from his stream, or he got his channel back, which I don't think so, because there's no way it's the case, because he's only Oh, who cares? We've got to watch what he said. Oopsie. Yeah.
Upload content on a daily basis, and I stream on a fairly regular basis as well. And tomorrow, I will be having a live stream celebrating the 10-year anniversary of DSP Gaming's May 1st, 2016 incident, where he had a robust self-love experience.
Yes, we don't need to.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
Don't worry, watch that.
Hello.
Fucking weirdo.
That will be taking place here tomorrow.
That is weird, guys. That is just weird. I don't care what anyone says. I don't know what's weirder, the fact that he done that on the stream, or the fact that this guy is actually doing an anniversary on it. I don't know which one's more weird.
Live stream that's scheduled below in the
But either
description.
way, who cares?
Comment. Also, I am now multi-streaming on both Twitch and soon Kick. I'll have links to my Twitch and Kick channels below in the description as well, and also in the top pin comment.
Yeah, a lot of people multi-stream now, guys. That's a thing.
That's really had a lot of confusion surrounding it, where PlayStation games that were purchased after March 2026 had incorporated DRM. You even had YouTube.
Yeah, it's been a big thing, guys.
With his PlayStation 5, he removed the CMOS battery, and games that he purchased after March, they weren't part of PlayStation Plus. He purchased them digitally to quote-unquote own, once the battery was taken out and there was no internal clock on his console, he couldn't play the games that he purchased. Now, there has been a lot of confusion and speculation around this. There are some people that said that this was a mistake. Sony didn't mean to implement this DRM when they pushed through this new update, and this is all just a mistake, so there's nothing to worry about. Then there's other people that said that, yeah, I have insider information that this is the new future. This is what it's going to be, where if you purchase a game through PSN, it's going to have DRM incorporated into it. There's even someone who hit up PlayStation support, and they said the same thing. So if you're thinking, well, PlayStation support, this is what I thought. If they're officially announcing that games here on out that you purchase digitally are going to have DRM, well,
there is a bit
I
more
think
information on
Sony
that,
support
guys.
would know. Well, apparently, Sony came out with an announcement, and yeah, there is DRM in games, but it's only for a 30-day period once. And after that, there's no other requirements. You don't need to go on the internet once again to play the game that you purchased digitally, so long as it passes that 1 to 30-day check. This is the official statement that Sony gave to GameSpot. It's like really short.
Yeah, basically they're trying to do this to stop a handful of people of what they'll do is they'll get on it, and then they'll buy a new game, and they'll call up Sony and try to get the that 14-day money refund or something. So they'll make sure the console goes offline before they do the call, obviously. So they still got the game on the console. They get the money back from Sony. And yeah, they make them, and then they can go back online, and yeah, they still have the game, but they got the money back from Sony, so therefore they get basically stealing. What they're doing is to do this because I think the refund's only like 14 days or something, maybe 30 days, I'm not too sure. So to make sure that people stop doing that, is they make sure that there's yeah, they're still legally connected. So I believe when they do, what they'll do now is when you get a refund, I believe the refund will cancel it, which means once the 3 days run out, that's it. You lose the game permanently.
Players can continue
Unless
to
you buy
access
it.
and play their purchase games as usual. A one-time online check is required to confirm the game's
Yes.
license, after which no further check-ins are required. And that's it. What this ties into is that there's a 30-day return period, even though it's next to impossible to return games you purchase digitally through PSN. And I guess they're trying to cover their asses with that. So if anyone,
Yeah, that's basically what I was trying to say.
in
Yeah,
terms of trying to pirate the game or Lord knows what else, or they have a jailbroken PlayStation 5, which that is somewhat of a thing now. This is to keep those people who may be doing that from pirating games. Supposedly. All right, so this isn't the worst ending that we could have had with this. Sony could have just came out and said, look, yeah, if you purchase a game after March 2026, there's going to be 30-day check-ins for DRM. Deal with it. And that's it. And they could have just walked away, and it would have been an absolute nightmare. But this isn't great, but it's far less severe than them having a continual 1-month check-in like everybody.
definitely. It's just the one thing. It's just the one time.
To digital distribution and cloud gaming, how easily they could take away your ownership of games. Just look at what happened with Amazon Luna. That's their cloud gaming service. This started in April 10th, 2026, where they're going to be removing access to third-party stores like GOG, Ubisoft, EA, and will remove previously purchased titles from Luna after June 10th, 2026. And if you were only playing your games via the cloud on the Luna platform and you don't have a gaming PC, because Amazon's going to let you play those games on either Ubisoft's launcher or GOG's launcher, but if you don't have another way besides Luna to play those games, that's it. You're going to lose access to them, and Amazon is not going to give refunds. That is the future of cloud gaming, cloud computing, and digital distribution. I love getting games digitally. I think it's very convenient, but we're seeing here what the fundamental problem is with cloud gaming, digital distribution, and cloud computing is that you don't own anything. I always bring this up, and you could say that I sound like a boomer, but if you go out and buy a Super Nintendo game right now for the Super Nintendo, which came out in 1991, I'm sure most of you know. But anyway, you own that game. You have a copy of Super Mario World, you own that game. You have a copy of Final Fight, you own that game. You don't.
Yeah, it's not technically true, but yeah. Well, I used to go to uni, guys. Just because you got the thing, you got it doesn't mean you technically own it. It's a very thing. It's a thing, but they at least can't take it away from you, if you know what I mean. They can't, deactivate it or anything.
I need to do a 30-day DRM check-in. You don't have to worry about if someone's
Exactly.
going to take away access to those games because you're playing them via the cloud. Once again, Amazon Luna. Back in those days, it was actual ownership, and things really didn't change, where if you went out and purchased a game, that was your game. That didn't flip until the 8th generation. If you remember, Microsoft initially was going to require you to be always online with the Xbox One to play your games. They were going to have DRM.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
They were going to do that weird thing, like if you wanted to trade in a game at GameStop, they were going to have like select partners, and you had to go through this whole process. But before that, you bought a game for your 360 and PS3 or earlier consoles, PS2, original Xbox, GameCube, you name it. When you bought a game, it was
You
yours.
you
Maybe
basically
on
owned it.
the Xbox 360, you would get an occasional update, which was super fast to download and patch. But that was it. The PS3, their updates kind of suck. But my point being is that when you bought a damn disc, that game was yours, or a cartridge, depending on the platform. But you get my point. And now, as we're seeing with the AI data center memory crisis, crunch, whatever you want to call it, where memory prices and RAM prices and PC component prices are skyrocketing, you have these tech oligarchs like Jeff Bezos coming out and saying that, yeah, people having individual computing power and actual PC with a GPU and CPU and all that in their homes, that's antiquated. It's kind of like how before there were electrical companies, people used to have their own generators. It just is antiquated and it doesn't make sense, which, okay, Jeff Bezos, you're talking about how if people had their own individual generators in each one of their homes, it just wouldn't make sense and would be antiquated. Hear you on that. But what about this, though? What happens when you pay a bill to an electric company? You have these electric companies that send power to people's homes.
Yeah.
And because there's no competition for the electric company in your area and they just want to raise prices by $500 a month because of whatever excuse they give, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you can't pay that bill, guess that sucks for you. You guess you're going to be without electricity. So we're going into this future where we're not going to have options and we're going to be cornered and forced to pay the prices these
Oh, I
companies want us to
definitely
pay
agree. I
because we have no
definitely agree.
choice to go anywhere else. And on top of it too, perfect example, I brought this up before. If you buy a PC, even if it's not a top-end PC, you could buy a PC for $1,000, okay, or build a PC for $1,000, and that computer, depending on what you do, could last you at least half a decade. You don't have to sign up for any service to get your compute power or GPU power. If you're doing video editing or any kind of other productivity tasks, you have it right next to your desk and you don't have to pay any monthly fee to have access to the compute power that's right next to your desk. What do you think will happen if we go into a future where no one has actual local compute power? You're going to have to pay a monthly fee for the rest of your life to have access to the compute power you need so you could do your work. And they know that. And if component prices are too expensive for you and you can't afford your own computer, you're going to have no choice but to sign up for one of these services. And they know this. And these companies like Amazon and Google, pick another company too, they want you to be beholden to them because you will be a constant stream of revenue if you have no other choices. They want to take away your options and make sure you own absolutely nothing from software to hardware. And that is the route we're going down. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out.
All right, I
See
think
you
he's
tomorrow for the
completely right,
10-year
guys. Normally, I wouldn't agree with a lot of things he says, but it's actually quite... Yeah, he's right. I don't disagree with him, actually. There's nothing there I really disagree with him. All right. It's been about an hour, guys. I'm exhausted. I don't know why I'm so tired, but I'm tired. Oh. Yeah, I want to watch that. Bracket, it's only 11 minutes, so not too fast. Let's watch that one too. Like I said, there's a lot of gaming news going on, guys, so that's why I focus more on that. I mean, if I had more energy, I'd probably stream longer. I just don't have it. I need a fatigueness. I need to sleep.
Hey, what's already? Welcome back to News Dose, and we finally got an official response from Sony regarding the DRM 30-day check-in fiasco that fans have been freaking out about. Now, I'm actually surprised that Sony gave us a response, but we're running into all of that today, as well as an update for Xbox exclusivity, because I think the data is starting to tell us a very alarming story. Despite chatter that Xbox needs multi-platform to survive, the brand has actually been plummeting since they first shifted over to multi-platform. The question for that, is that a coincidence, or is there a connection? First, though, I do want to thank my supporters on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. Thank you just so much for what you do, and you will receive this video through early access.
Yay! I gotta do this myself, guys.
Leaks from the infamous rating boards. I mean, who would have guessed?
Yeah, so the last three videos are mostly all gaming related, so that's okay. At least it's easy to put up. So I'll probably have one video for tomorrow morning and one for the day after.
Rating boards just leak everything.
And maybe do something else as well. So I do want to get back into it.
For the Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, Dragon Quest XI is already available on the Switch 1, but a meaningful Switch 2 upgrade would do this game a lot of justice. It is
probably
widely considered one of the best traditional JRPGs of the last decade, and it's also a perfect fit for a handheld device. In fact, if you think about how popular Dragon Quest is in Japan specifically, this could actually end up being a sneaky system seller.
Oh god, gambling.
For the Switch 2 in Japan specifically, if and when it drops for the Switch 2. Now, as for Tales of Eternia, Bandai Namco has been on a mission to remaster the Tales of series, but up to this point, it's been very random. I mean, their last remaster was Tales of Berseria, which isn't even all that old, but Tales of Eternia is a lot different. It's actually known as Tales of Destiny in the United States, and it first appeared statewide for the original PlayStation back in 2001.
Yeah,
which is
well.
strange in its own right. For those that know their gaming history, you might have already realized that this was after the launch for the PlayStation 2, which ended up being the best-selling console of all time.
Of
More or less,
course,
it will
yep.
be a brand new title for a lot of people, and that's something that always excites me about remasters. It gives fans the chance to experience great games that they may have otherwise missed. Nonetheless, though, I'll keep an eye out for a more official announcement for both of
Ooh,
these games,
ooh,
and
muscle.
if and when that happens, of course,
That's
I'll
weird.
keep you posted. Now, we're also once again hearing about Injustice 3. I know a lot of people really love this series. And
Yeah, I don't really care about Injustice
Injustice
or Injustice or whatever it's called.
whether or not it'll ever end up happening. I mean, it's been nearly 10 years since the last game, and Warner Brothers Studios has definitely gone through some turmoil here in recent years. But MP First discovered that an artist that's currently working at Warner Brothers listed several projects on their resume, including both Hogwarts Legacy 2 and Injustice 3. Now, of course, Hogwarts Legacy 2 has already been confirmed by Warner Brothers themselves, but Injustice 3, on the other hand, that's a different story. It's been more rumors and speculation than anything else. So to see a mention of it on somebody's resume definitely adds some credence to those earlier rumors. Now, at the same time, you do have to kind of keep in mind that this is not necessarily a confirmation. We have seen resumes in the past that never amounted to anything, and maybe that's because of cancellations or something else. It's hard to tell, and I'm not trying to say that that's happened, but what I am trying to say is that we still need an official confirmation. Either which way, though, let me know what you all think about this rumor in the comments below. If Injustice 3 were to happen, would you be excited, or would you prefer NetherRealm to move straight into the next Mortal Kombat game? All right, now let's just go into our big story of the day, and that is in regards to Xbox exclusivity.
Okay,
yeah. A lot of conversation and
I think they're going back to it.
Exclusive strategy pretty much ever since Ashish Sharma took over as the new Xbox CEO. She did kind of tease that they are going to consider the return of exclusives, and she has also since confirmed that. They are, in fact, having internal discussions as we speak, and as I've already pointed out, I don't think that her decision is as straightforward as some people thinks that it is. I have seen some people online claim that it will be impossible for Xbox to return to exclusivity because they're making far too much money on PlayStation, which I completely disagree with. Yes, Forza Horizon 5 and Sea of Thieves have done very well on the PlayStation 5, but outside of those two games, here's the rest of their lineup. A lot of their games haven't exactly pushed major numbers on the PS5, and while yes, these are still extra units sold, the question still remains. Do those extra units sold justify the damage that they've done to their brand?
Probably not.
You have to remember that a console maker
I mean, Forza is one thing, but
just their first-party games alone. They also make
I think Sea of Thieves probably could be done on it because of the nature of the game.
And so on and so forth.
But this one and anything else, it depends on the game. As long as it's not a first-party one, which I think for Sea of Thieves is.
They've helped retain as well because of them. Exclusives is a business,
but it's an MMO type of game, so it doesn't really matter. This is not MMO. Exactly.
Customers. So I think some people are viewing this discussion a little bit too short-sighted. I mean, for that matter, if you look at Xbox's best-selling PlayStation 5 games, they're both games that had been out for years and years before they made their way to the PlayStation 5. So this idea that Xbox needs to put their games on the PlayStation day one,
I don't think they do.
Doesn't ring true. I think there's actually a very real possibility that Ashish Sharma will notice that trend and decide to keep Xbox games exclusive for at least 3+ years. I wouldn't be shocked at all if that ends up being her conclusion. But nonetheless, we got even more data today from two different sources. One from Microsoft themselves, because they just revealed yet another down quarter for the Xbox brand. Xbox gaming revenue was down by 7%, Xbox content and services revenue was also down by 5%, and Xbox hardware was down by 33%.
Ouch, yeah, that's gone down because of the
If you look at the numbers, ever since their announcement that they are going to shift to multi-platform back in 2024, they have declined every single quarter from that point forward. Now, to be completely fair, the previous year they were also down as well. But before that, they were actually doing fairly well. And I think that begs the question. If their multi-platform strategy is so good, like some people want to make you believe, then why are they declining? Wasn't that supposed to be the move that saves Xbox? Because it certainly doesn't come off that way. Instead, it appears as if Xbox fans have been moving elsewhere. So, okay, they've sold some units on PlayStation, but they've also lost revenue on their own ecosystem.
Yeah.
That doesn't exactly seem like a winning formula to me. And it's why I keep saying that I'm not a fan of this strategy. I gave them an opportunity to prove me wrong. But my motto, and you all know this very well, has always been very clear. I believe in competition. I believe competition breeds excellence. And exclusives, from my point of view, are a part of that. Without exclusivity...
Yeah, I didn't think exclusive mattered that much, but I'm completely wrong in that statement. So now I see how important they are.
if they stay on this path of multi-platform, it is going to majorly impact their next
I
Xbox
think for
console.
some games
In fact,
maybe, but
surprise,
not
Christopher
definitely
Young
not for
just
the majority of
revealed
theirs.
on a recent resume, and guess what was the #1 reason that customers decided to buy a specific console? If you guessed it was because of exclusives, then you guessed right. 41% mentioned exclusivity. Now, 38% mentioned that they choose their console based on where their friends and family play, but that also connects to the 41% that chose exclusives. Because if the majority of consumers are choosing PlayStation because of exclusives, then hey, that 38% could very well be followers. So there's the leaders that are
Yeah, so
choosing
that's
a console because of exclusives, and
70,
there's the followers that choose to
39%.
follow the people that chose to play on a console because of exclusives. Just kind of put two and two together.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
like
this paints a
79%.
very clear picture. Xbox needs exclusives, and I think the more Asha Sharma digs into the data, she will see that as well.
Oh,
Now,
definitely.
I don't know
She's not an idiot.
being for permanent exclusives. My vote is for that, but again, I think long-term timed exclusives could be on the table, but we'll see what happens. Now, one more thing before we go, though, because PlayStation finally gave a response for the recent DRM debacle. Now, I'm actually surprised they gave us a response because, as I said yesterday, I feel like they really wanted to keep this entire thing on the down low. And that's not because they were trying to sneak in some terrible version of DRM. Rather, there have been rumors that this temporary DRM policy was put in place to counteract an exploit where customers were taking advantage of their 14-day refund window.
Oh, so it is
Basically,
14 days. Okay.
Customers were buying digital games, then they would ask for a refund, but they would take their system offline, which would in return let them keep playing the game. And I think Sony's response kind of confirms that. They said, quote unquote, that players can continue to access and play their purchased games as usual. A one-time online check is required to confirm the game's license, after which no further check-ins are required. So there it is. It is, after
That's
all,
what I
a
thought.
temporary DRM. So what I'll say to that is that I don't think that this story has been a nothing burger. I've seen some people call it that, which I disagree with, because this is another reason why some people are concerned about digital games versus physical. But I also don't think that it's as bad as some people.
Oh, definitely not as bad.
At the end of the day, I would like to see Sony handle this issue in a better way, but if anything else, the
It is what it
reaction
is.
online has definitely put pressure on the
All right,
studios
that's it,
of
guys.
this
I'm
response,
finishing
and I
up
think that's
for
pretty
today.
cool.
I'm done. So we did it right today. I mean, we did an hour and 15 minutes, so an hour and 20 minutes. Most of it I wanted to do, I've done. So, not all of it, but yeah, I'm going to go outside, guys, and do some laundering and shit like that. I might be on my other channel tonight. Maybe. I don't know yet. Depends how I feel. On that note, guys, cheers. I'm out of here.